When I woke up yesterday, first person I got a call from, Tamar's publicist. Second person I got a call from, two other people in her camp that's in her business. Everybody wanting to know, what can we do to put this to bed? What can we do? Q, don't do it. Q, be the bigger person. Q, what we gotta do? You know how Tamar is. Y'all know how she. Q, please don't. Q, what we gotta do? Q, we been talking to her. Q, we try. My words to everybody was, why are y'all talking to me?
Atlanta has always thrived on drama, but the storm surrounding Tamar Braxton has pushed the city into uncharted territory. What began as a shocking confession, Tamar, claiming she woke up in a pool of blood, missing for teeth, and with a fractured nose, quickly spiraled into something much darker. A blurry photo paired with a chilling caption went viral in minutes, sparking gossip blogs, Twitter threads, and YouTube breakdowns. But the more people dug, the less it seemed like a tragic medical emergency and the more it resembled a carefully staged cover-up. Suddenly, fans weren't just talking about Tamar's injuries, they were asking if this was a recycled stunt, a smokescreen, or even a distraction from something Tamar didn't want the world to see. And right at the messy center stood not just Tamar, but Funky Dineva, a Miami dentist with a suspicious statement, a past connection with Chrissy and Rock, and rumors of a secret affair that fans couldn't let go. Let's start with the dentist because that's where the cracks in Tamar's story began to show for days. Funky Dineva was dragged across the internet, accused of somehow being tied to Tamar's mysterious collapse. Then, as if on cue, a new voice appeared, Dr. Amira Obenlai, a Miami cosmetic dentist who specializes in porcelain veneers, released a statement and video vouching for Tamar's injuries. And her words, almost word for word the same as Tamar's original Instagram post, Tamar Braxton woke up in a pool of blood. She had multiple fractured teeth, one completely knocked out, and even a fractured septum. She even added that Tamar might have been sleepwalking when it all happened. That's when alarms went off. Why was a dentist, whose specialty is veneers and cosmetic smiles, suddenly speaking like a trauma surgeon about fractured noses and deviated septums? Why was she addressing sleepwalking as if she were Tamar's full medical doctor? It didn't add up and fans knew it. Social media tore the statement apart. Many called it a blatant PR stunt, a cover-up doctor statement designed to protect Tamar's image rather than reveal the truth. And the timing couldn't have been more convenient. Funky's name was being dragged. Tamar's credibility was crumbling, and suddenly out pops a dentist with a polished video? One fan summed it up perfectly. This isn't medicine, this is marketing. The receipts piled higher within hours. Dr. Amira added Tamar Braxton to her social media profile, proudly displaying her as a client. That wasn't just medical, it was branding.
I told you yesterday you was gonna pay me for my pain. See, you the type of person, you ain't used to having nobody around you to meet you where you at. All right? I'm equally as crazy. I'm equally mentally and emotionally unstable as you are. All of this was supposed to be put to bed yesterday.
If Tamar was really fighting for her life, why did her dentist look like she was shooting a promo reel? Why was Tamar signing consent forms for a dentist to speak publicly, instead of simply showing her face and letting the truth be seen? That's when the whispers of money entered the chat. The theory spread fast. Tamar paid her dentist to release a statement, essentially buying credibility when no one believed her and the dentist. She walked away with instant clout. Her Instagram following surged, her name hit every blog, and her practice gained free publicity. Tamar got her cover story. The dentist got her marketing boost, but the public still didn't get proof. Because if Tamar really lost for teeth, why not just go live and smile? Why not show us the injuries instead of hiring a dentist to tell us what to believe? And for fans who followed Tamar's career, this was all too familiar. This wasn't the first time her name had been tied to a suspicious teeth and nose story. That's when the Chrissy and Rock connection came roaring back. Almost the exact same script had played out before, only back then, Tamar wasn't the victim. It was her close associate, James Wright Chanel. Tamar accused Chrissy and Rock of violently assaulting James at her show, allegedly knocking out his teeth and fracturing his nose. Headlines screamed, lawsuits were filed. Tamar dragged Chrissy across the internet, but Chrissy denied everything. James never clearly showed missing teeth. The evidence was murky and the whole thing fizzled into silence. Now, fast forward to Tamar's own pool of blood story. Missing teeth, fractured nose, trauma, hospitalization, the similarities were undeniable. Fans couldn't help but ask, did Tamar recycle the same playbook she once used against Chrissy and Rock? And just applied to herself? It felt too close, too rehearsed, and once people connected those dots, the dragging began. Tamar wasn't being called a victim, she was being called manipulative, desperate, and hungry for attention. But even those comparisons weren't the messiest twist. Because woven into the scandal was a far more dangerous whisper, a secret affair rumor. Funky Dineva, in the middle of dragging Tamar, dropped one chilling hint that sent blogs into overdrive. Even in this moment, I'm trying to protect you medically. I'm trying to protect you romantically. But you keep playing, and I'm telling you this ain't what you want. That one word romantically changed everything. Suddenly, fans weren't just debating Tamar's teeth. They were asking, who was Tamar allegedly creeping with? And that's when the name Mendices Harris entered the chat. Rumors swirled that Tamar and Mendices had been spotted in the same building late at night, seen in the same neighborhoods, and possibly working on projects that didn't look very professional. Some fans even suggested that Tamar's rushed music video release was a convenient cover story, disguising late-night meetings as business. Funky didn't spill the whole cup of tea, but his insinuations were enough to make the internet boil. If Tamar was hiding a secret affair with Mendices, then was the pool of blood stuntan the dentist cover-up just a smokescreen to distract from the real scandal? Meanwhile, Funky wasn't about to let up, remember? He had already been dragged by thousands of Tamar's fans when her original post went up, accused of drugging her or causing her collapse. All he wanted was for Tamar to clear his name, but instead of posting a proper statement, she dropped a flimsy Instagram story apology that disappeared in 24 hours. For Funky, that wasn't enough. He wanted receipts. He wanted her to stand firm when Tamar instead doubled down with subliminal captions. The rabbit got the pow-pow. My voice is my PR stunt, Funky snapped. He clapped back hard, mocking Tamar's injuries, branding her a toothless muppet, and firing off one of the most viral shades of the year. How big was the pool of blood, Tamar? Olympic size. Kiddie pool.
She posts, I almost died and is found in a pool of blood. She still texting me. Friend, oh my God, friend. I don't even know what happened. So I wrote back, wait, I'm confused. You went to bed and you woke up and 4 of your teeth was missing. No response to that. But then later, texting about every damn thing else under the sun. So I'm like, okay.
Kiddie pool? Or just the spit you see when you brush your teeth. It was cruel, it was ruthless, but it was also unforgettable. And it proved one thing: this feud wasn't just about missing teeth anymore. It was about credibility, cover-ups, and a secret Tamar couldn't afford to let slip. But here's where the cracks show: the evidence never matched. James never clearly showed missing teeth. When he went live, his smile looked the same. No dental work, no visible fractures. Fans scratched their heads. Chrissy denied it all, claiming Tamar spun a lie to smear her. Legal threats fizzled, receipts never surfaced, and the scandal evaporated without resolution, living and dying only on social media. Now, fast forward, Tamar herself is a one in a hospital bed, claiming her teeth are gone, her nose is fractured, and blood was everywhere. This time, it's Tamar playing victim. This time, it's her dentist confirming the same kind of injuries she once accused Chrissy of causing. And fans couldn't ignore it. One tweet went viral. First it was Chrissy knocking out teeth. Now Tamar is losing her own teeth. Same script, different cast. Another called it the missing tooth epidemic surrounding Tamar Braxton. Every project rollout seemed to come with a teeth and no storyline. James writes alleged injuries during a tour, Tamar's own pool of blood scare during her EP release, and the dentist's viral video, conveniently timed to align with her music video drop. For fans, it was proof Tamar had a pattern of manufacturing scandals for buzz. But if the Chrissy and deja vu wasn't messy enough, Funky's cryptic hint about protecting her romantically pushed the drama into uncharted territory. That single word set off a wildfire of speculation. Funky never named names, but the internet didn't need much. Whispers immediately turned toward Mendices Harris. Tamar and Mendices were allegedly spotted in the same building late at night, seen in the same neighborhoods, and possibly working on projects that didn't look very professional. When Tamar rushed to release her music video featuring Funky Dineva, fans speculated it wasn't about artistry, it was about damage control. Was the video meant to cover for late-night sightings that looked a little too personal? Think about it, if Tamar really was sneaking around with Mendices, It explained everything. It explained Funky's sly hints. It explained Tamar's frantic need to control the narrative. It explained why Funky dragged her publicly, but stopped short of spilling the most damning tea. Because exposing Tamar might also drag Mendices, which would blow up Yendi's entire household. And it explained why Tamar might pay a dentist to release a flashy video confirming her injuries. Because the scandal people weren't supposed to find wasn't about teeth. It was about a possible affair. Meanwhile, Funky turned offense into offense. He didn't just ask for an apology, he set down rules of engagement like commandments carved in stone. You don't say nothing. I won't say nothing. You don't post nothing. I won't post nothing. That includes subliminals. All that God is elevating me, removing people from my life? Nope. Not accepting none of it. Anything that feels like shade, I'm going live. Period. It was a declaration of war, and Funky wasn't bluffing. Every time Tamar tested him, he doubled down. Every story, every caption, every lyric that even felt like shade became another $5,000 video. You financing my Miami trip, Tamar. You paying for my Range Rover. You gonna learn today. It was petty, it was ruthless, but it was also brilliant. Funky had flipped Tamar's shade into his own paycheck, turning the feud into a cycle. Tamar posts, Funky drags, fans explode, both trend again. The internet was split down the middle. Tamar's defender said she nearly died, that Funky mocking her was cruel, and that black women deserved compassion, not ridicule. Funky supporters said Tamar was manipulative, reckless, and had thrown him under the bus for sympathy. The divide got uglier when Funky called her a toothless muppet and mocked her pool of blood story with Olympic versus kiddie pool comparisons. Some thought he went too far. Others cheered, saying he was refusing to let Tamar play in his face. But perhaps the loudest statement came from Tamar herself. She deleted her apology post, unfollowed Funky, and blocked him for Funky. That was proof the apology was fake from the start. For fans, it was proof Tamar was spiraling. For the blogs, it was proof the story wasn't dying, it was just heating up. Because at this point, it wasn't about teeth, doctors, or Instagram captions anymore. It was about credibility. Tamar Braxton, once beloved for her voice and reality TV charm, was now being dragged as someone who couldn't be trusted. Fans pointed 2 years of stunts, meltdowns, and manufactured chaos and said this was just the latest chapter. Funky Dineva, messy as ever, was cast as a truth teller, harsh, cruel, but willing to risk it all to expose Tamar's hypocrisy. The feud was messy, ugly, and deeply personal, but it was addictive. Every Funky Dineva live, every shady caption.
As this thing starts growing more legs, I'm over here getting nervous like, okay, like, girl, she gonna need to say something. Let me check in with her. Hey, girl, how you doing? Say, my girl, what the hell happened? Zero response. But you all in your Instagram stories posting cryptic messages and posting messages and whatnot, so you see your phone.
Tamar posted every so-called receipt that surfaced. Fans dissected it like it was the latest Love and Hip Hop reunion episode. Because in so many ways, that's exactly what this was, a reality show without cameras. Unscripted but following the same beats of betrayal, shade, confrontation, and cliffhangers. And the biggest cliffhanger of them all still hung in the air. What exactly was Funky protecting when he said romantically? What secrets was Tamar hiding behind the dentist's shaky statement and the missing teeth story? And what would happen if Funky finally decided to spill it all? By the time the third wave of this feud crashed into the blogs, the drama had hit a fever pitch. What began with an Instagram post about waking up in a pool of blood had spiraled into a full-on digital war combining medical cover-ups, recycled scandals, rumors of secret affairs, and Funky's razor-sharp tongue. And now, the internet wasn't just watching, they were choosing sides. Let's start with Funky's most savage moment. After Tamar tried to reframe her injuries as part of her healing journey, posting cryptic lines like "My voice is my PR," "Stunt in the rap it got the pow pow," Funky finally snapped. He went live, shades on, tone locked, and delivered what fans now call his toothless sermon. His words cut like a knife. This toothless muppet is still bumping her. GUMS literally. Shouldn't you be somewhere recovering? Waiting on a blood transfusion? Since you almost died and woke up in a pool of blood, right? Tell me, was it Olympic size, standard, kiddie pool, or just the spit you see when brushing your teeth? The shade was brutal, but it stuck. Within hours, memes flooded Twitter, pools labeled Tamar's blood, Muppet gifs with missing teeth, even fake GoFund pages titled "Save Tamar's Smile." It was cruel, yes, but it was viral gold. Funky had taken Tamar's alleged tragedy and flipped it into comedy that fans couldn't stop sharing. But behind the mockery was a clear message: Tamar wasn't untouchable. Funky wanted her and the fans to know that her silence had consequences, and her theatrics had collateral damage. While Tamar was posting, deleting, and hiding behind vague captions, Funky reminded everyone that he was the one being dragged as a villain, accused of drugging and harming her, when all she had to do was clear his name. And when she finally dropped a half-hearted apology, she buried it in stories, where it vanished in 24 hours before unfollowing and blocking him. To Funky, that wasn't an apology, that was a slap in the face. So he escalated. He announced his rules of engagement publicly, making sure Tamar and the entire internet understood the game. You don't post, I don't post, you throw shade, I throw fire. Period. It wasn't just a warning, it was a business plan. Because every time Tamar tested him, Funky banked another $5,000 off the fallout. He bragged openly, every shady post she drops, I cash out. You ain't hurting me, you financing my Miami trips, my cocktails, my Range Rover. You gonna pay me for my pain? That line, pay me for my pain, became a cultural moment. Fans slapped it on t-shirts, TikTokers lip-synced Funky's clips, and gossip blogs plastered it across headlines. Funky wasn't just defending himself anymore, he was profiting from Tamar's chaos, turning her stunts into his hustle. The irony? Tamar, accused of staging scandals to sell music, was now fueling Funky's viral empire. Meanwhile, the dentist's statement began to crumble. What was once hailed as Tamar's proof had quickly become another red flag. Fans dug into Dr. Amira's credentials and discovered she was a veneer specialist, not a trauma doctor, not a sleepwalking expert, not a neurosurgeon. One fan tweeted, "Why is a veneer dentist talking about fractured septums and sleepwalking?" Another wrote, "If Tamar really broke her nose, where's the end? Where's the hospital paperwork? Not some Miami smile doctor." Instead of silencing critics, the video only poured gasoline on the fire. People labeled it a PR stunt, a cover-up, a marketing scheme designed for both Tamar's EP rollout and the dentist's Instagram profile. Screenshots showing Tamar front and center on the dentist's social media went viral, convincing fans that this wasn't about medicine, it was branding. And then came the whispers that wouldn't die, the secret affair. Funky Dineva's line about protecting Tamar romantically had fans in a chokehold. The blogs zeroed in, and one name dominated the rumors: Mendices Harris. Allegedly, Tamar and Mendices had been spotted in her building late at night, seen in the same neighborhoods, and rushed into a project video that fans believed was nothing but a cover story. The rumor was toxic for multiple reasons. First, Mendices was married to Yandy Smith, making the alleged affair explosive enough to wreck the households. Second, Funky himself had ties to that circle, meaning his decision to hint, but not name names, looked intentional by holding back the messiest receipts. He kept his connections intact while letting the internet do the rest. The result, Tamar's name was cemented as messy, manipulative, and possibly involved with another woman's husband, and no dentist statement could erase that narrative. By now, Tamar had gone silent. After blocking Funky, she stopped addressing him directly, posting only vague captions about healing and moving forward. But her silence was deafening. To Funky, it proved she'd lost the battle. To fans, it confirmed she had something to hide. And to the blogs, it guaranteed the scandal wasn't over, it was just simmering. Tamar's credibility had taken a blow that even her voice couldn't fix. Fans side-eyed every new announcement. Comments under her posts were flooded with pool emojis, tooth jokes, and cries for real receipts. The very strategy Tamar had relied on for years. Stunt scandal was now collapsing under its own weight. Meanwhile, Funky was thriving. His subscriber count soared, his live stream numbers hit all-time highs, and his soundbites became gospel in gossip circles. Every time Tamar tried to escape the narrative, Funky dragged her right back into it. He was relentless, petty, and unapologetic, and fans ate it up. But the most dangerous part wasn't what Funky said, it was what he didn't say. He hinted at secrets, medical, personal, romantic, that he claimed to be holding back. "Even in this moment, I'm trying to protect you," he warned. "But this ain't what you want." The threat hung in the air like a storm cloud. If Tamar pushed too far, Funky could drop the bomb he'd been sitting on, and the fallout could end her career for good. And so, the feud didn't end with reconciliation. It didn't end with closure. It ended in tense silence, Tamar licking her wounds in private, Funky cashing checks in public, fans split down the middle, and gossip blogs feasting on every crumb. The cliffhanger was brutal. Would Tamar risk clapping back and force Funky to spill the romantic tea? Or would she swallow her pride and let the scandal fade into internet history? Either way, one thing is certain: Tamar Braxton's saga was no longer about a pool of blood. It was about credibility destroyed, secrets whispered, and a feud that turned into a business model. Thanks to Funky Dineva's explosive receipts, the internet would never look at Tamar or her teeth the same way again. Asterisk.